Cambridge North. Only the front door will open on this coach. Next station, Whittlesford Parkway.
Australia. And it was amazing, but this time we did it this year. I didn't give them my availability. I gave them all of my availability for the following week before I went away. So
Is that today's coal mine? It would have been a coal mine, isn't it? They also own a bunch of land all over the country. They're kind of like trust funds, to be honest. Like they're big, just big.
Although he's got a dodgy knee now, so
oh right, yeah, exactly. Well, you may know something. Where the the slope is facing the land, so they get them at that point. That's where they push off. Yeah. Guys, if you look at this bit right here, this is all St. John's College. Those college that not many people know of.
Right, so like Trinity and this one.
Yeah, these are the no-goes. I say that genuinely impossible to keep up if you do have a part-time job. It's one of the only places in England which allow you to get a master's degree in 3 years. And that's not just an opportunity, that is the baseline. You have to get a master's degree in 3 years. Every course here is a master's. What you do is you go here, you study for 3 years, and for 3 years you get your bachelor's degree, and a year later, with no study, doesn't matter what you do for that last year, you know, you can leave, do whatever, you'll get an honorary master's degree, just like that. Only place that offer it are Cambridge St. John's. This is extremely wealthy. Now if you're good at maths and good at remembering, you'll know that these two combined are worth £4 billion. The other 29 colleges in Cambridge University are worth £3.5 billion. I mean, just these two are richer than the other 29. These are like genuine giants in Cambridge University. In front of King's College, King's Chapel and Gibbs House, the most famous view of all of Cambridge. If you search at Cambridge online, this view right here will be the first, second, third, fourth, fifth picture that comes up. The reason why it is so famous is because this is the largest chapel in all of Europe. There's only 2 chapels on earth larger than this one. They're both located in the US. But yeah, largest chapel in all of Europe. The only chapel that people often think is larger than this one is the chapel in the Vatican City. It's the one where the Pope lives. But it's called the Sistine Chapel. You know, the Cardinals, the Pope, everyone, they all live in it. But that chapel, probably the most important chapel in Catholicism, is actually a third of the size. But yeah, this is the largest chapel in all of Europe. Start where we start, half the other boats that start on the other side. If you look down there, there's like a lock. That's the end of the river. Can't take your boats further than that. Yeah, that's all like the water spilling out through those gaps. It was essentially used to determine whether blowing up the atomic bomb was going to blow up the entire world. But yeah, the second one was done by Alan Turing, and it cracked the German Nazi code.
It's a must.
Just here. This is, well, it wasn't here that he did it. That was at Bletchley Park where he did that. But this is where he lived. That was going to be the original Hogwarts. So Harry Potter, they filmed there for the first 2 films for 1 month. And they couldn't afford it. And so they filmed there for a month and moved up to Glasgow and Edinburgh where they filmed the rest of the first 2 films. But St. John's, they were charging £1 million a month to film there. And that sounds steep. But once again, St. John's, they didn't even make a penny off it. They just did it for the love of the game. They just they charged £1 million. So, because usually, I mean, there's 1,000 students in there, all paying £460 a month. You know, that's already £460,000. And so I had to pay for that. But also, what St. John's made them do is they made them pay for all the students' accommodation where they were going to move to. They moved to all these flats all around Cambridge, and eventually it got to around about £1 million. But yeah, on top of that though, on top of St. John's charging £1 million a month to do it, they also had to pay £1 million in salaries for that month. And in the month they filmed here, they spent around about £2 million, which adjusted for inflation is about 3.6 million. And they didn't use a single scene. They filmed here, so they spent 3.6 million just like that, and wasted it all. But yeah, they filmed the rest of it in Glasgow and Edinburgh. They could have afforded it if they knew they were going to be as big as they are today. But remember, these were the first 2 films, so they didn't have a clue. They did actually come back and film some more scenes here, but this was going to be Hogwarts, that massive building right there. It wasn't, they were still going to have the CGI, like looks at it, from like above and everything. But the scenes indoors within Hogwarts, that was going to be inside there. My pole, 15 foot, 4.5 meters. And that is just outside that black bridge you saw at the beginning. There's a couple of areas over there, which are extremely deep, about 4.5 meters. But to be honest, for the most part, it's actually quite a shallow river, very shallow river.
Because it came up on Google Maps, and I was like, oh, John was there. Yeah, did you remember that?
There was just a mistake.
We're going to his thing.
Yeah, 5-minute walk.